Two humorous nurses would like to acknowledge the true custodians of the land in which we record our podcast, the Yorta Yorta people.
We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend our respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders listening today. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Two humorous nurses with Kelly and Alisha.
The podcast that knows what you're thinking and it ain't good.
Welcome to Two Humorous Nurses, where we plan to bring you funny, informal, conversational chat about all things nursing.
Intrusive thoughts.
And the dark side of nursing.
Oh my God. This episode is going to be funny and dark. And
informal.
Definitely informal.
And conversational.
So we all have intrusive thoughts, or at least I assume we all do. This is my one intrusive thought that I've had my entire life.
Intrusive thought?
Intrusive thought. I was hoping you wouldn't pick that up. I didn't want to say it again. When I used to live at home, you used to have to go down this hill, down a very steep road in WA where I lived. And halfway down the hill was a lookout on the side of the road, right? You could pull over and it was a bit of like a lookout, just a pull over area, right? Yeah. Do you know how many times I would drive down and just think, what if I fucking gunned it down here and just went straight over the edge?
Do you know how many times I drive and look over the, like on the, on the side of the road people leave rubbish?
Yes, and wonder if it's a dead body.
Yeah, I'm like, mate.
Oh my God, when I was in Melbourne, I'd gone to the eastern side of Melbourne, right? Never go over there because like we live this side of it. So we were over in the eastern side and I pulled up and I was pulling off the eastern freeway. And I was like, that is the perfect bit of scrub land for like dead bodies. And because the traffic was shit, it took me like 2 goes to get through there. And I just spent the whole time looking for a dead body.
Oh my God.
I really wanted to find one so I could be like on the news.
Another my mum found a dead body. Anyway, another story.
No, she did. Yeah, no, you can't. My mum. You cannot stop. Oh, in no ways. Anyway, another time.
Yeah.
No, what?
My mum, no joke, finds dead people.
How many she found?
I think she's found 2 and then another guy had like a full-on epileptic seizure who like almost died. Right, and I'm talking, she was walking and he fell right in front of her as if to be like, save me, as he was going down.
Can I never be around your mum ever again,
Seriously,
please?
I thought she was cursed. I thought she had like the devil following her or something.
Three and done.
Yeah, I think so. She hasn't found one for a while.
I'm going to ask her. Could I ask her next time I see her?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like she finds dead bodies. She finds dead people.
Same
Is
thing,
that the same? No, I feel like
when
if you find
die,
a dead
you
body,
become a dead body.
Yeah, but I feel like when you find a dead body, it's like
they were already
they were being hidden or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, where did she find
them
the
having
dead
been
person?
murdered, whereas this guy like died in his car, and she, this first guy, I can't remember about the other one.
It's still a dead body.
Yeah. So, but she and this is awful. She opened the car door and he like flopped out.
Oh, but the smell, I wouldn't know.
No, he wasn't like rotten. I think he was newly dead because she rocked up to someoe's house and looked over and thought, oh, is that guy looking down for his keys or something? And then when she came back out, he was still looking for his keys. Anyway, off topic.
Mums are not good for many things, but she's going to be good for that.
Should we interview her about
the dead people? Wow.
Took a left turn, that one.
Sorry, 3 minutes in and didn't mean to be there.
I often have intrusive thought. This was back, I was thinking when this all came out, I'm like, oh, I felt all this pressure to think about my intrusive thoughts because I haven't worked for a while. But I realised when I was a young horny nurse, I'm not so horny anymore because I'm married and got kids. But when I used to like have intrusive thoughts about fucking doctors, or like when I worked in theatre, I'd be like, you'd meet a cute locum and you'd be like, I'll have you in the anaesthetics aisle against the Goodell Airways. Hand me that bougie.
Fantasising over a patient's airway. Be like, you can put that in me.
Pushing the patient off the desk off the operating table.
Sucking on the oxygen.
Not so much. But we did have condoms available for the, for the
rectal stuff.
Probes and stuff. Anyway, that was more like where my intrusive thoughts went about like things I used to fantasize about.
Oh my God, that's fucking ridiculous.
I know, ridiculous. But I'm sure I'm not alone.
No, 100. Well, you're not, because we put it on our stories and got so many.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. And if you were along for the ride, you're welcome.
And if you weren't, here we go. So it started with like something probably all of us have wanted to do at some time. And I don't know, but I reckon I've licked it off my finger once or twice.
Ew, no.
Always wanted to have some of the Ordine.
I've never licked it off my finger.
I reckon I probably have.
You haven't. Oh, my God.
What do you reckon it tastes like?
Shit.
Yeah, it'd have to taste like
It'd be
shit.
sweet. They would have added heaps of
Wouldn't be
sweetener
sweet.
to make it.
I reckon it'd be
it'd be
bitter.
sweet.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, of course it has to be palatable.
It doesn't.
Although
It's a narcotic.
old people can't taste shit.
Yeah, that's why you crush it and put it in something. Another one that we've definitely all thought of, wanting to push the slow patient to hurry them up when walking from the toilet.
Oh, my God. That was like one of my pet peeves when you had to take people for 3 walks a day and you're like, hurry the fuck up.
Here we go, just around the corner. Do you need to sit down?
Bad leg first. Bad leg first. Watch where you're going. Head up. Stand up straight.
Looking up.
Tuck your bum in. Yep. Look up.
Floor,
Look up where we're going. Nice weather we're having. Unseasonably warm.
After a recent aged care placement, telling rude old men to go fuck themselves. I
want to say stuff, but I can't. Damn you, laws of confidentiality.
I feel like some old men you can have the most fun with.
So, yeah, totally.
And other old men can go fuck themselves.
Definitely.
And just because you have dementia doesn't mean you can grab my tits.
And not only that, I mean, no, you're right. But them having dementia sometimes makes it easier to
reconcile,
cope with. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a resident once who was notorious for mowing people down with his scooter. They were allowed to ride them inside where I worked. And that right was quickly taken away.
It's fun. This one made me laugh too because it had a second one. It said to use all the PRN so they shut the fuck up. And then it said, oh my God, I should clarify, a nap, not a murder.
And more just so you're that's all you can have, so don't press your buzzer for 3 hours. I'll come back when you can have something.
We're done. Leave us alone.
Sometimes it's easier to just hit them with everything. If you know that they can take it. Do you know what I mean? That sounds so terrible. That sounds so terrible. I feel like we are in serious danger in this episode.
There is only a few milligrams between a nap and a murder. Another intrusive thought.
Did you hear that laugh? Oh my God. You're sick. No, I feel like let's hope none of our patients ever listen to this episode. But, I mean, we have to say we do love nursing and we are good nurses. We were just having a conversation about how we take our jobs so seriously, but we can still have fun.
We would never nurse dose like they do in America.
Oh, my God.
Ever nurse dose.
And if you see any of the comments I leave on people's Instagrams about nurse dosing, I'm like, savage.
And then they savage you back and I have to delete it.
Yeah, I know. That was bad.
That was bad. Imagining having to crack ribs during CPR on someone I just met. I reckon that's up there with cannulas on veins, like when you see someone with good veins.
But is this, I didn't quite understand this one because it was I
feel like they've met someone and they're thinking about having to do CPR on them and how they would crack their ribs. God.
That's the last thing I think about when I need to do CPR. It's I'm going to break their ribs. I've never even considered that. I just felt their ribs break and went, oh, that happened.
Oops. Unplugging the call bell on these certain patients.
Love that. Not that you would.
Absolutely.
But we've all considered it. I love these thoughts that come into your head and you think, oh, I can't do that.
Imagine if I just put it over there and they couldn't reach it. Sorry.
Terrible.
Sorry.
No,
but these are literal intrusive thoughts that we have every shift.
Yeah, it's so true. I feel like we should get medals for all the terrible things we think about and don't actually act on.
I mean, I don't know if this is intrusive thought because I'm pretty sure we've all done it, but telling a patient that the H stands for hospital, not hotel,
I don't know why more people don't. Like, I'm pretty cutthroat at work.
Yeah.
If people fuck with me, I fuck with them. Like, I just don't fuck.
Okay, whatever that
I give
was.
no fucks.
If it's not, you're right, it's not a hotel, so they can just wait. But also, it's like when they want to sleep through the night, but you have to do obs. It's like, well, if I don't check, you could sleep forever.
It's like when parents don't want their kids woken in the night to give them Panadol after a tonsillectomy.
Worst mistake.
And I'm like, this is going to be your problem tomorrow.
100%. You better take him home at 8 a.m. Forgetting to, I don't like this one. Forgetting to turn the full sensor mat back on.
Let's hope that was just an intrusive thought.
Let's hope that was an intrusive thought.
I'll tell you, it's the worst when all these blokes get out and they put their feet on the side of the bed just to piss. You're like, fuck. And they piss every 20 minutes.
Yeah. Run in and see them using the bottle.
No, I love those sensor mats. Gives you something to do overnight.
Yeah. But also, like, there's nothing worse than a fall. So walking out on those patients in aged care that can wash themselves but say, I pay you to be here, so wash me.
That's rough.
I'm pretty sure you're not paying taxes anymore, mate.
The government's paying for a lot of it. But no, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like the ones that want you to wipe their ass and you're like, how do you do this at home?
Yeah.
And I mean, the short answer to that is they probably don't. So having a good wipe is probably what they need.
The third message from this person was, sorry, these were a bit grim. Sorry, buckle up. The hospital is going to be hit by a plane. How will I evacuate so many sick and disabled people?
I need to meet this person.
I know. If this is how you spend your lunch break, eating, just thinking, what order would I take them? Walking first. You're too sick, you might as well stay there.
Cross that bridge when you get to it, I say.
Oh, I say don't even think about it.
No.
It's funny because we've had to move to a different spot in the hospital. Long story. Probably never tell it on here, but anyway. And I've been walking through the urgent care quite frequently, and I never really go into the urgent care. And I walked in there, and every time I see on top of the cupboard a box that says code brown box. And I just think, why do you need a box for shit cleanup? But obviously it's for a code brown, which is an external emergency.
Is that right next to the emergency birthing box?
And the Ebola box.
The Ebola box.
But I just think that's obviously what you would need if the hospital was going to get hit by a plane and we had to evacuate.
Do you know what's in there? Do you know what's in that code brown box?
It doesn't look like a lot.
Toe tags. Right. Not
those ones you don't evacuate.
And there's but this is code brown is an external emergency.
So it's people that are coming in.
So it's like if we had to go out to the street
to a train crash,
to a bus crash or something like that. There's like tags in there, like lanyards that you put on the patients to triage them and stuff.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And then like hospital like ID things and like you know. There's heaps of like...
So there's no wipes or anything for the poop?
There's no aprons and wipes. There might be aprons, but there probably should be.
And the second one, which I actually have this... I have this thought a lot, actually, but it's not really an intrusive thought while I'm at work. It's more of a like when I'm catastrophizing shit and when I'm trying to fall asleep, and I like to imagine the worst possible scenario.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, where in the ED would I hide if someone comes in with a knife or a gun? And I often think about if someone comes into the hospital demanding narcotics and like I'm the one that has the keys and just giving them everything. But then there's always that one nurse that's like, you're not allowed to do that. And like she'll get me shot.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to be a goody two shoes and I'm just trying to give the man.
I'd climb into like 2 of those white linen skip bags and then hop into the skip. Like hop into the big trolley. Do you reckon I'd look like linen?
I really don't think you
No, I put one this way and one over the top.
I really want to watch you try and get into that skip
trolley.
And the trolley would just sink, you know how it's like on springs?
Yeah.
And it'll just go doosh.
Sink down to the bottom. Yeah, that'd be all right. What else would you do? Go to the old morgue.
Yeah, it's full
of
stuff.
It's decommissioned. Of course it is.
I'd just go home. Let's get my keys and leave.
It's that easy. Jesus. Anyone who's ever been killed... why didn't you just go home?
It is a real thing, though. I wonder what in America they would have like
other places have security. We don't.
Yeah, but I mean we don't have a gun problem. like in America. Like no one's going to
No,
come
well,
in.
we
and
do have
shoot
guns. People
course we
bring
have
their guns.
guns.
We have a gun safe
Yes,
for
they
people
do.
who bring their guns.
And that's okay too, but I mean, they're not likely to come in and like when's the last time
Well,
an
look,
ED
I saw
got
someone
shot
get a
up?
bicycle thrown at them, so it's real.
I'm going to Google, live Google.
Oh, dear God.
I'm going to voice. When was the last gun shooting in an emergency department in Australia?
Oh, Jesus. Very specific.
Okay. Absolutely no help at all.
Probably never. I don't know that there's been like any mass shootings in an ED in Australia.
No.
Not in my lifetime.
Well, I do know a nurse got stabbed. Like, nurses have been stabbed outside ED.
Oh, that's true. Actually, and there was that doctor that got stabbed out, that got shot
at the Royal
in Melbourne. Yeah,
and there was that. I think it was a nurse in Western Australia that got killed outside the mental health wing of a hospital.
Jesus.
Oh, she didn't get killed. She ended up with a brain injury.
I think that's worse.
It definitely. Someone with a very cute username said to silently headbutt annoying people. 100%. I don't want to headbutt. I just want to throat punch. Throat punch them. It's like when you're watching, when you watch Mean Girls and they're in the cafeteria and they're all fighting like animals, but really she's just standing there watching. Yeah. That's what I imagine sometimes. Like when it's a really shit shift and everyone's just going psycho and I'm just standing there like, what's happening here?
Do you know what? I have a very low threshold.
I know, for anything, really.
Anything, right? And when I'm at work and if I hear the same person whinge about the same thing, I have literally said to someone, if you spent as much time working as you spend whinging, you would have nothing to whinge about.
Imagine what your intrusive thoughts about them are, though. Because you just say it out loud. I'm surprised you have many intrusive thoughts because it all verbalizes.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't feel like I don't. That's why I'd have to try so hard to think about my intrusive thoughts because most of the time I just say them.
Look, just because you have ADHD doesn't mean you can get away with just saying whatever the fuck you want anymore.
That's nothing to do with it. It's just about being intolerant.
Wanting to I love this one. Wanting to slowly push the printer off the counter when it won't print again.
I don't know who's got counter printers, but ours are the size of refrigerators.
We have a counter printer.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it probably works.
Wow,
the
it
counter
does.
Printers, well, yeah. But
what dog are you doing?
I don't know what he's doing. Is there a storm coming?
Patients who are abusive, I want to go, nah, I'm done, I'm out with this, rather than being professional. Fuck yeah.
Well, if you're anything like Jess, you're not. You tell them.
You're being a dick.
Pretty much.
Fuck off.
I think Jess told a woman she didn't like, something about her behaviour. She said, your behaviour is disgusting.
Yeah.
Which I totally support that.
I support that too.
Totally.
Oh my God, you will love this one. Wanting to pop every single filthy blackhead I ever see. Old farmers have the best ones.
I mean, I don't want to pop blackheads on randoms.
Why?
Unless it's like...
What if it's the best blackhead you've ever seen?
Depends if I like the patient. All of my things are very conditional.
I know, that's just...
That's just me.
Imagining a car accident or some trauma when not at work and wondering what I'd do.
So I have this fear when I drive behind trucks with logs on them.
Oh, yeah, because we've all been there.
Have we?
Final Destination.
I haven't seen it.
No,
have I just got a totally rational fear of trucks with logs on them?
There's a movie called Final Destination.
Yeah, I've heard of the movie. I've never seen it.
And they die because of logs on the truck.
Oh, well, I mean, it's pretty normal to drive behind.
It's normal
to drive behind trucks
with
logs on them.
Memes about the, like every millennial will get this, like with the log and the trucks.
No,
you don't.
Don't get it.
Oh, also, can we just note I've seen a movie that Alisha hasn't. Because I never see any.
Yeah, because you've lived 12 years longer than me. Actually, probably more.
But I've never seen any. Fuck off. As my daughter would say, we're close to 50.
But I do think about that sometimes. I think about like if I witnessed a car accident and I had to get out and go and help somebody, or once I found a car that had crashed into a tree but the people were gone, and I was like, thank fuck, dodged a bullet.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
Just keep on.
What's the next one?
I kind of wish the NICU would need to be evacuated so I can wear the apron with the pockets and put the babies in the pockets.
Love this. Love it.
I had to see if it's real. So I went to the source of NICU nurses that I know on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I said, is this true? And she said,
is there actually an apron
yes,
with the pockets?
She said,
like a chook egg apron.
Chook egg apron, like you put your pegs in when you're hanging out your washing.
Your pegs. No, it's not like that. It's got lots of pockets.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. She said,
do you have a peg apron?
I don't even peg washing out. You're sitting in front of my clothes areas. No pegs here. She said yes, but she said basically the intubated babies are fucked.
Yeah. That's sad.
That is sad, but like
so if you have to evacuate a NICU,
babies,
that's a death sentence.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Because
because
you would still push them out in there.
Wouldn't you have portable
incubators?
vents?
Surely. It's bloody 2024, for God's sake.
And, I mean, most of the hospitals have got another hospital not far, like with the NICU. I don't know. Anyway,
I too want to do the pocket apron.
That one was my favourite out of all of them. God, it made me laugh.
And she wrote, not because of any ill feeling to the babies. I just want to put them in my pockets. Me too.
It's like when you get a kitten and you just kind of want to put it in. Yeah.
It's like when I had my little NICU baby and I put her between my boobies.
Some I've heard you say boobies.
Boobies. Oh, I like this one. Fighting the urge to violently shake when I find out my patient has lice, worms or scabies.
Ooh.
So many years ago when I worked in Broome.
Oh, God.
Crabs. We had this patient come in who had been a drug addict and had neglected himself severely, and he came in with the worst case of Norwegian scabies I've ever seen in my life. And we had to pick things, because in order to be able to get the scabies treatment in, you had to pick the like caps off the scabies, and they were like plaques over him. Like in order to catheterize him, we had to take the plaques off his penis because it was blocking him, and he was like, was
his skin just raw awful. By the time you took them all off?
We didn't take them all off because we didn't need to. We were just trying to treat the ones that we could see had active scabies in them because we could see. The poor bugger, though, he was like basically unconscious. We, we shipped him out to Perth really fast, but we had to treat it before RFDS would take him. And like it was horrific. And I think for weeks afterwards, I just kept bathing in the scabies wash because I was like concerned. But then I went to a rodeo with a bunch of boys and was there like jacket bitch for the weekend, and I came home with scabies. So thank you very much. I was like scratching the shit out of my tummy, and I said to one of the doctors at work, I was on night shift, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so itchy. I think I had a reaction to like something at the rodeo. And he's like, give me a look. And he goes, yeah, you've got scabies. Go home. Gross. And I was like, oh no.
I'll never forget. I've got the funniest story just kind of related to that. When I worked on kids ward, I didn't know what ringworm was when I was like 21, right?
Yeah.
So one of the nurses, I thought he was playing a prank on me because I thought that I just had a bit of like eczema on my arm, right? And he goes, oh, you've got ringworm. And I'm like, oh, funny. He was bald and I rubbed my arm on his head. And I'm like, oh, it's a ringworm, is it? And then he's like, what the fuck? He's like, there really is ringworm. I'm like, oh, it's just fungal. It'll be wrong.
Oh my God, that's awful.
I know. I used to catch everything from kids' ward. Terrible.
Yuck. So gross.
Never caught anything else from work, I don't think. That's even after 2 needle sticks and a urine splash in the eye.
No, I haven't even caught C. diff from work. So
I hate it when people come and they've got shingles. I'm like, next.
I had shingles really bad when Amelia was 1.
Did you?
Yep.
That's an old people disease.
Fucking awful. I know, and that was 10 years ago. I was young. Ish. Being a bit more rough when having to give Clexane to a rude patient.
The Clexane needle does all the work for you, mate. Half of them are blunt.
If you really want to punish them, just alco wipe it and don't let it dry first.
Cruel.
Do not alco wipe when you give Clexane or heparin or insulin, please. Throw the ECG machine across the room when it's out of fucking paper.
I have a real issue with loading paper into those things.
I have a real issue with loading paper into anything. I hate it. Hate it.
Surely that should be an admin responsibility.
Probably not on the ECG machine. This is when I read this, I had flashbacks because this happened to me. I forgot a patient for 12 hours. Yeah, mate. I was again in Broome and allocations were given, and I spent the night answering the bell of this room because no one seemed to answer it all night long. And then at handover, someone was like, who's going to hand over room 8? And I was like, I don't know, but I answered their bells all night.
And your name's on the board?
Yep. To be fair, and the nurse in charge on the shift did admit that she changed the allocation after the start of the shift.
Just didn't tell you.
So she obviously didn't tell me.
Knowing you were probably early.
I was, super early. But thank God that, he actually didn't need anything overnight. So he had no nighttime medication.
And he thought he was well looked after because you kept answering his bells.
So technically I did look after him because I did his toileting all night. But I did nothing else for him. But yes, I would be horrified to find out that I had someone that, obviously might have required things and I didn't look after them.
I have intrusive thoughts about I really hope she listens to this. Not really, but funny. One of my colleagues who's very clean and tidy, sometimes I really wanted to go and mess up her desk, and then if she come back, what would happen?
Yes.
Just to see her reaction.
Yes.
Especially if something was missing, that she knew.
Yes.
And because she's got a very good memory and she's very well organised, whereas I'm the opposite. If you see my desk, it's fucking shit.
Who should we do that? Who you need to tell me and I'll do it. Oh, she's not there.
Oh yeah. Well, she's you can bleep that.
She's
out.
On long leave.
But
long leave. She's on long service.
I love her to death, and that's probably why I would do it because it would be so funny.
So I might have the other day, because I am floating between offices, I got to sit in a space I've never sat in before, and I opened a drawer I'd never opened before that nobody had opened in a long time because no one had sat there, right?
Yeah.
And in that drawer was a picture in a frame of the old doctor that used to basically haunt the halls of our hospital.
Oh, okay.
And I took that picture in a frame and I left a little note on the back of it that said, he's always watching you. Love
you
Dr.
should have said,
B.
I'm always watching
That's
you.
what I did.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote, I'm always watching you. Love Dr. name. And then I went and put it in the acute ward manager's on top of her bookcase, and I just put up this in a nice little ornate frame. It's not very big. And I put it up there.
She would have worked with him.
100% she would have, with a date on it, so that when she notices, I'll know how long. I don't know. It might backfire because I don't know if she'll know it's me.
She'll know your handwriting, you dummy.
Anyway.
She knows everyone's handwriting.
It's there. She was in the office the other day and I had to keep averting my eyes away from it so she didn't notice. Don't know if she's noticed yet. It hasn't moved.
There's a few people on the ward that listen to this podcast.
Yeah, well, I did tell a few people on the ward. But
yeah.
if you do listen.
Everyone will know it was you anyway. Either you or Darren.
You need to just not give it away, please, because it's funny. See, these are little things you do. Do you know what we used to do all the time? This is when I first started nursing. It's not really an intrusive thought, but it's just a funny prank thing. We used to always call people to the phone, but we would have put lube on the phone ear.
Dude, can I tell you something so funny that happened once when I was at work? One of my undergrad professors or lecturers or something. He was our lab. No. He was our lab. He was brilliant. Anyway, I ended up working with him in theatre. And he probably the smartest person I've ever met in my life. And also got very dry humour. We're all sitting in the tea room, a case had been cancelled or something, so we're all sitting there. And then the PA goes and this lady has said something like, all staff, whatever's on in the there's a talk on in the cafeteria, and she repeated it. Well, she like mumbled her words like 50 times, and it was like she couldn't wait for it to be over. And then their protocol is that you have to repeat the message
3 times.
Yeah, whatever it is. So she's repeating it and repeating it. It's getting worse and worse and worse, and we're all sitting there like in dead silence, just listening to this woman totally like just destroy this. Anyway, it's over. Peter gets up and picks up the phone and dials switch, and he goes, "Hi, yeah, it's Peter here from theatre. I just wanted to let you know that was brilliant." And I just died. Like, he's like, "Thank you, yeah, no, brilliant." And then hung up the phone. I'm like, it was the funniest thing. And we're just sitting there in shock. Like, did that really just happen? It was very funny. Good times.
Straight telling those patients you're a drug addict. 56 Panadeine Fort a week.
There's a drug addict in my house at the moment.
Imagine it. Yeah.
A 3-year-old
Mummy
going,
medicine.
"I want medicine.
Mummy medicine.
I don't know where she got that.
It's because you're the one always giving it to her.
I want mummy medicine.
Mummy medicine. Now, this comes with the second one, so I'll read the first one. Dipping the patient neck deep in a bathtub full of moisturiser. This is from a wound care nurse. Hang on, let me find the message that she sent to us. They came in after. Hang on.
We should have a moisturiser pool.
She said, then declaring to staff who always neglect to give good skin care, "See what I made you do it." So, no, see what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
That's great.
Yeah, because, I mean, let's face it. Most patients, myself included, could use some good moisturiser on their legs.
I have intrusive thoughts about, like, when you see someone first coming into hospital and you're like, the things I'm going to do to you, and you get them so clean and you get them in fresh linen, you get the hair all done, you're like, "Real, hey, Betty."
I love when you get a patient all set up on the bed and they look perfect, they're neat, and they're like, "I'm really uncomfortable," and then they shimmy down and fuck it all up. And you're like, oh no.
They're like, "Can you put the back of the bed up?" And then they just sink all the way down to the bottom of the bed.
I found a Reddit thread on it as well, and there's just a couple on here.
Nursing intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. I want to drink TPN. It just looks like it would taste good.
Oh, no. You know what it reminds me of?
It would not.
It would be like drinking the cream from the top of breast milk.
Absolutely not.
No,
it would be salty. It would be like drinking.
No, but I mean
cum.
the texture of it. Oh, yeah, it would be like drinking cum, but with the texture of the cream off breast milk. Yeah.
This one is something that I actually think of often. We should ask Steph Kelly to taste her TPN.
Oh, I didn't know what you were going to say.
I think about this often, and I had quite a good conversation with someone who wrote this in our DMs. But this one says squeezing a bag of blood or even just saline until it pops. I'm aware that more than likely I'd be physically unable to do that, but it just sounds so good. But do you know how many times I think about that? Like, or just stabbing the saline bag with the, like, instead of like pushing the IV line into the bag, like just stabbing the line with it.
That's sadistic.
All the time. But the blood really gets me. Like, I have to.
Do you know you can like put a crazy amount of pressure on those bags?
100%. Yeah. I'm very aware of that.
But you really want to perforate it.
I just want to make it.
You need therapy.
Someone said, and I love this one, but then somebody just didn't get it because they're like, just once I want to touch everything on a sterile field. And then thanks very much for your comment. It says, get a sterile glove and go wild. That's how it works, right? No, that's not how it works. The intrusive thought is to touch fucking everything on the sterile field and fuck it up.
Is that without somebody knowing?
No, I wouldn't do it with someone knowing. I would love to walk along to that bitch in theatre who's got all of her stuff lined up for a big ortho case, and, they've got 10 trolleys, and just walk along and do this.
You're fucked.
with my hand. I'll be like,
You do that on your last day.
On the way out the door.
The problem with these thoughts is they all come with consequence.
God, that's why they're thoughts.
Yeah, I know. But then also, like, I just think, oh, fuck yeah, it'd be good to do that. But then you're like, no, then the patient will have to wait another 2 hours
This
for
one,
their surgery.
slapping an unresponsive patient to see if they wake up. Wake the fuck up.
Okay, here's a story for you. You're going to fucking die.
Oh, God.
So when I was 18, I moved in, nearly 19, I moved in with my dad, right? And he got the worst case of whooping cough I've ever seen in my life. He's also a horrific asthmatic.
Oh, dear.
We were driving to Echuca on a 100-kilometre road. He was driving, I'm in the passenger seat singing along to Paul Kelly. He's coughing. And then I look over and he's totally lost consciousness on the road.
Oh, no.
My first instinct as a first-year
Pull the
nursing
handbrake.
student was just to smack the fuck out of him. Okay, the first thing I did was... This is so funny because I remember it like it was yesterday. I look over, I'm shocked as shit. My right hand, I just go whack him in the side of the head. And then while he's coming to from the hardest whack he's ever had, I managed to pull his feet away from the accelerator and then just slowly pulled the car over the side of the road. And
oh, my God.
Yeah, it was the thrill of my life. Anyway, and then he proceeded to pass out every time he had a coughing fit.
Aww.
And it was shocking.
That's awful.
One day it was at home and he smashed. I'm sorry, I just really love physical comedy. But he coughed and then fell to his knees and face planted on the floorboards and broke his nose. It's awful. It was awful because it was so scary.
This is like a mix of intrusive thought and dumb shit that we've done. Or fucking weird shit we've seen.
I guess this is the opportunity for us to talk about them.
Lick the dust off a pill crusher.
That's abnormal.
So I said, inhaling this much Seroquel dust makes me a better me.
Inhaling and licking are two different things.
Quitting nursing altogether. Yep, that's mine, half-baked style. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you.
Some days I think, is this worth being away from my kids?
God. Sometimes during an especially awful shift, I'll fantasize about just leaving. Maybe telling charge on my way out, maybe not, just walking the fuck out. Then I remember that patient abandonment is a crime. I'm essentially imprisoned here for the next 10 hours or however long is left of my shift. Grip my teeth and get through it.
Is that true? Because I've done that.
I've
literally, after a doctor totally accosted me, I was like, I'm out, not doing this, not worth it.
Technically, this is a comment, if there's another nurse on the floor, it's not considered abandonment.
That's great.
So, I'm sorry you went through that. I hope you're seeing a great therapist now. We're nurses. We don't see therapists.
Not till we're at rock bottom. We've had an intervention.
We attempt to use EAP. What do they do? Nothing.
Fuck off.
What would happen if I just dropped the baby?
Oh, yeah. Dear God. I've dropped a baby. Here we go. Not a baby, but not at work either.
That doesn't count then.
My husband's nephew, well, I guess my nephew, on his first birthday, he was sitting on my knee and then he wasn't head first into the deck in front of about 25 people.
No.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm never going to be a good mother.
Oh, we love this one. Single nut wonder. Oh, I'm sorry. Injecting myself with about 100 units of Humalog. I'm not a diabetic.
Hang on. One nut wonder?
Yeah, that's why I said I'm sorry.
Is that his name?
Single nut wonder.
That's his
name
handle or something?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. And he wants to inject himself with Humalog.
Oh, it takes... Oh, I clicked on his name and it says mature content. To view the few version of this content, review this page on the Reddit app. No, I don't know.
Is it his OnlyFans? Single
no.
nut wonder.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
moving on.
Someone said, I took care of a suicidal patient once that did this, but used Lantus. Like, bro, wrong one. Also, never told him that, obviously. Poke the bone flap. Oh, how many times have you just wanted to like poke something that you shouldn't poke in nursing? I always wanted to stick my finger in a stoma. I mean, I have given.
That's a fetish. That's not an intrusive thought. That's a fetish. Oh.
If I stab this pen in my eye, can I go home? Telling patients that bringing their child to our ED is just dumb. There's a children's hospital like 1.5 songs on the radio away.
Actually, something I have intrusive thoughts about is usually about parents.
Oh, yeah. Parents are the worst. That's why I would never do children. Stick my hand in a sharps bin and just swirl it around.
Oh, get fucked. I've seen a doctor stick her hand in a sharps bin.
Some of these are just saying, I don't really care, and walking away when they're telling me a boring story.
Okay, I haven't got to that level of savage, especially not with my patients. Maybe I have in life.
I want to answer screams for nurse with an equally loud scream, patient!
That is so great. That's great. Or they'll be like, nurse, what? What do you want?
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine if we spoke to our patients the way we speak to our toddlers?
No.
Get your finger out of your nose.
Yo, get the fuck up to my extremely lazy, I want my nurse and CNA to do everything for me patients. I used to, when I used to have to work, like when I worked on the ortho ward, we had to sort of encourage patients to get out of bed, like after their joints. I would always strip their bed when they're in the shower because physio would get them up, walk them to the shower, then I'd leave them because they're well, leave them to shower themselves and then help them back to their bed, which I hadn't yet made. Yeah. I would just strip it and not yet make it. Oh, you'll have to sit in the chair for a few minutes. Until I make your bed. And then I go to the next patient and then I would come back after I'd done all my patients and then make their beds. So that it was usually a lunchtime.
Pretty typical. That's a good nursing hack, really, if there's any students out
there. Coffee junkie genie, air embolism, and then floral and stripes laughs nervously. What the fuck?
That whole comment. I feel like these are possibly
walks out of the room. Am I sure I primed that line?
Oh, dear God.
I want to drink Propofol. Looks milky and delicious. It's lipid-based, just like all my other favourite snacks. Tequila and Propofol makes for a good night's sleep.
Trying to think of it. There's anything I've ever wanted to taste or have. I really want. Actually, I want to try Madaz. I've never had Madaz.
I've had Madaz like when I've had, not just for fun or anything. When I've had like surgery.
No, but I've never had Madaz like it, that I know of. That'd be good. Bit of ket. Bit of ket. Oh, the things you see patients do on ket. Oh, God.
Bolus the potassium. The comment, you have a bright future in the Texas Department of Corrections.
Maybe another one would be like giving the furosemide pretty like too quick so then your patient can't hear.
Is that what it does?
It gives them tinnitus.
Oh, no thanks. I have tinnitus. Right. Well, that was fucking funny. That last one just got me. The Department of Corrections.
You have a bright future.
I reckon the best intrusive thought you can have is to like go leave us a 5-star review.
I wonder if people think about us before they go to bed. I know that we have a colleague who listens to us as she falls asleep.
So my sister-in-law told me that my brother falls asleep listening to me, which is kind of weird.
That's creepy.
Diesel
my
just
brother
farted.
barely even knew that I had a podcast.
Oh.
He's like, I want to do public speaking about PTSD. I said, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, I want to like book gigs and conferences and do like guest appearances. I'm like, oh, you mean like what I do? He goes, what do you mean?
with the podcast. What? Yeah. What?
Podcast.
And make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search up Two Humorous Nurses Podcast.
Or send us an email to hello@twohumorousnurses.com. That's humorous like the bone. HUMERUS.
Don't think about us tonight.
Don't think. Stop thinking about us. I know you're thinking about us.
Right.
Bye. Stop thinking about us. Stop it. Turn it off. Stop. Stop thinking. That's enough now. No noise.